Hello, thank you for being with us here on New Life, the instructional series with Rav Laitman. Hello, Rav Laitman. Hello, Tal Mandelbaum. During this series of discussions, we want to understand ourselves better. The title is Me and the Environment. The question is how we're going to get into better relationships so that I will feel better. And today our focus is how to feel more comfortable in the society. Each of us, as he's with himself, he feels and behaves in a certain way. When he's in the company of other people, things get a little bit more complicated. So how are we going to do this? Be with us. There'll be a lot to learn. Tal, please open this discussion. This is really an interesting discussion which touches upon each and every one of us. We've gathered many questions from many people, and each had something that was important for him to learn and how to feel better in this when you're in the society. Like Oren said, we're in all kinds of circles, in the family, relatives, and so on. We're busy making the right impressions, and we're under a lot of pressure. So one of the things to feel that it's very important to us is to feel that we're loved, that we're recognized. Therefore, we take upon ourselves all kinds of habits and actions that demand a lot of energy in order to attain appreciation by others and other things like that, and status, and it demands a price. So the question is, when I'm succeeding, it's one thing, but many times people can't even achieve themselves because it really causes anxiety, and there's a phenomena called social anxiety, where it comes to 13% of the society that suffer from it, and they really feel that there's an ongoing fear from rejection. They're constantly worried about being humiliated, and it really shuts them down, and they're really worried about it. It's mostly women that suffer from this more than men. And what's interesting is that there's no way to work with this. Many more people, like the depression, so most of feel that this feel like it's only in them. And I have a friend that for many years used to smoke marijuana just to deal with the anxiety of being able to go to family area gatherings or other social gatherings in order to be able to function in an environmental society. So we wanted to ask you, you're an expert in societal people. What happens to a person in a society? Why is he behave that way? Oh, am I an expert in a societal thing? I don't know. I wouldn't really say that. I understand the nature, and I understand the nature of people as far as my science. But truly, you can never say that a person was so limited, so pressured like he is today. And especially because of the social pressure. Because all in all, just as we talk during all these programs, when we were a small society in my village, just like our friend grew up in his village, in his moshav. And so what, was he afraid? What, wasn't known there, or who and what? I also remember it's like a person would feel himself free in childhood in his backyard during his free time. It's like in that settlement or wherever you live, maybe you felt a little bit more of that. But those days have passed, and we already are in a totally different time. The big city and the society is pressing, and all kinds of standards and values that have to be answered for, and sometimes we need to behave the way Hollywood presents before us. There's also actually mini series and movies that supposedly ask, they kind of laugh at themselves on how much they're basically copying from those movies the behavior, and you could say that you can see on a person. I don't know these. I don't recognize those images, but you can see on a person that now he's assimilating this actor or that actor or another, meaning the person himself doesn't exist anymore. He's just basically mimicking. That's his profession, and that's how he is all his life. I wouldn't say that it's bad. It's nature of man to be that way. The question is, what images does he take upon himself as an example, and then puts himself through? Because we're in the street, we behave, we're constantly clothing ourselves in something. Whether we want or not, that's how it happens. What does it mean that we're clothing? We're clothing ourselves in a certain image and wanting to establish ourselves towards each and every one where we are, also towards ourselves. We don't know ourselves truly. Also, I, who am behaving with myself in four walls, on my own, I am also in some way am in a certain theater, in a certain acting with myself, how I sit and how I work and how I lay down and read and even sleep. I constantly need to take an example from all kinds of sources that I appreciate and to adapt myself to those sources. Because we don't have, on behalf of nature, something that we really can take from within, from inside our reshimot, from our previous generations. We're not really impressed. We have something, but it's more of an inner mentality association with. But as far as a person, from the moment he's born until the moment that he's going to be educated, he is constantly gathering examples. Therefore, it's really important for us in what environment he is in. It could be our problem is also that children, as they're educated, so say girls, young ladies, it's not so bad, but boys that are all the time under the influence of women, the kindergarten teachers are women, and the mother, and then later to school where most of the teachers are women teachers and not male teachers. And for boys, it's problematic. And later also the images that they take from the TV and the internet, which is images that are pushed upon them that no one would want his son to be similar to that. And also girls, ladies, also when they're looking on the big screen or the small screen, this is how they need to look and this is how they need to appear, and each takes an example or an image as an example, and we have a big problem that we don't have real people, and they don't know themselves. No one knows himself. Rather, only all of one's efforts are how will he maintain himself in a way that he decides that that's how he thinks it should be. Also with himself and in the society, he can play someone else each time, once like this, once like that, but one must, because otherwise he doesn't have self-identity. His identity is what is clothed in it right now and what he's acting now. It sounds like really there is no self-identity. Each time it's clothing in anyone. No one does. And if you'll take a psychologist, good, then he will see the person and he will tell you, what is this person acting now, or which role he's taking now. That's how we are. But that's not a problem, actually. It's known, but this is already, well, we can leave that. This is all in all, what can we demand from the human society? But the problem is that when we come to a society where we are in the street, in the authorities, in the banks, in the stores, in all kinds of public places, or at work, which is the main thing. So also at home, it's also the neighbors and the street, the yard, if it's an apartment building, all the floors and so forth. We also need to create a certain fashion of behavior. And here also the question is how much a person is capable of doing so. Many people take upon themselves a certain identity or image that it seems to them that it's good to behave that way in order to protect themselves. So on purpose, they're very dry and kind of readied inside and confrontational. There's others that are, they're kind of like always smiling and kind of joking around, and not necessarily that they want to be like that. And there's those that smile all the time, there's those that cry all the time. Each one takes a certain constant identity or image that he takes upon him, that it's kind of good for him to be in that. And everyone already accepts him that way, and he kind of maintains himself in that way. And then he already, because everyone got used to it, and everyone sees him in such a way that in reciprocity, it kind of happened in short. There's a whole theater here that everyone's behaving that way, and also in the family. And in the family, it's something that really brings later to obscurity and to despair and to a lack of hope and loss of strength. Because in the family, each wants to be like himself, like he is. And who is he? And who is he? And this is the thing, that everyone wants to be who they are, everyone wants to be control and yeah, exactly. So if we're talking about bringing a person to a comfortable place in life, we need it's worthwhile to start in the family. Because if in the family we would arrange between them free relations, interactions, where no one would have to act with himself towards the other, but rather take the most comfortable identity or image for himself and for others, and they would come to the most balanced way between them. And the balanced way is actually through reciprocal understanding and love. And if we would get people to be used to that in the family between them in such a way, so that each would then be supported by the surroundings and compelled to be like that in the society as well, and also feel himself that he needs to contribute to this society in such a way for it to be in a common shared way, the common support. The thing is that the approach is that everyone feels comfortable by me. That's the saying. Isn't this like kind of what we call about behavior, that is, oh, I'm trying to satisfy everyone? No, I'm not acting and on purpose, and here I'm giving each person some kind of bribe and so on. No. Therefore, I'm saying in the family, in an interconnected way, we want for each to feel comfortable with the others. And how do I initially get to this? under the rule, don't do unto your friend what is hated upon you. Meaning that I'm restricting myself to the point like as if I don't exist at home. And I am there. And I try to behave in such a way towards others as if I'm not there. Why? That there's place for everyone. Why? This is called that, first of all, it's my reset, my zeroing. Why do I need to zero myself out? Because this is the beginning of the good relation towards each other. That each will feel with me, himself, that he's not obligated, that it doesn't compel him or press him, that it's not awakening something in him, both to the good side and to the bad side. Not at all. I'm air. I'm air? I don't want to be air. But listen, and you'll try to understand it. Yes? In stages. That first of all, I want for my presence not to be felt towards others. That sometimes a person is in some room and he fills half the room or three-quarters of the room, and he himself can be this thin. But you see that he's trying to, choke it up. No? Yes. You have such a child. Yes, I can understand what you're talking about. Yes, okay. So his presence is a kind of pressing on me. Yes. Not because he's a bad child, but because that's who he is. So I'm not talking as far as this childish behavior. I'm talking on the inner pressure that he's doing to me. And there's people by which you feel comfortable next to him. They don't press you. You enjoy next to him. In general, nothing bothers you. You can sit next to him on the couch and do whatever you feel like and read, and he's next to you. But it's not that you're disregarding him, but rather his behavior is such that there's really no problem to be next to him. What does it mean that someone's doing inner pressure on me? How is he pressuring me? That he's there, that he's in that space. So how is he causing the pressure? By being. But what is he doing that brings that inner pressure in me? It's like he's bringing a constant response from me in relating to him, in keeping myself from him, and giving him some kind of attitude or relationship or honor, respect, attention. And here we're talking about the fact that a person needs to, first of all, if we learn in the family, then everyone in the family needs to be educated in such a way and that no one bothers the other. That's the beginning. That's called restriction. As my presence doesn't press on anyone else. That, oh, wait, Daddy's coming home. Oh, yes, everyone know. No, there's no father. Daddy came home, right, Oren? Right or wrong? And when I come, there is Daddy comes home. It's the children are already immediately running to all the corners. Yes, I don't know if to the corners, but they changed their state. They're changing their state, so that's not good. Maybe there's a state where Daddy doesn't like to be, or they love their daddy. No matter what, it's not a matter of pleasant or not pleasant. It's like a baby in the hands of the mother. It's not such a thing of pleasant or not pleasant. Truly not in a family. Now I understand that you asked. I don't understand the example exactly. The children are at home with my wife. I come home in the evening. They're at home. They're used to. So what, are they stand in attention? No, not in attention. But they come and there's action and there's a whole mess. And I'm used to working all day in quiet and all that. They know that when Daddy comes home, the volume calms down a little bit. Not exactly break it. Why do they do that? Because they love me, so they want it to be pleasant for me at home. Otherwise, I have a headache in 5 minutes. If it's on that behalf, maybe. But I'm telling you, first of all, it needs to come to a state in which. Wait, I'm asking you. With your love towards them and your good desire to do good and everything for everyone, would you limit them in such a way or not? Probably I shouldn't have limit them, but my head explodes. That's something, man. Then you're sickly. That's something else. Well, how can I do that? So, no, sickly. Then maybe we need to be considerate because of love. I feel like they're considerate me. Okay, then that's something. In short, try to make it so that no one bothers each other, meaning that they don't feel my presence. This is called that they don't feel my presence. And that there's a lot of space around me. I'm not taking up place, both physically and also emotionally. This is by limiting myself. It sounds very pressing, such a state. Meaning it sounds to me like if I'm trying to put myself in such a state, it's like I'm really trying to restrict myself. It's not necessarily pleasant to me. I want to feel the other way. I want to feel free. If you'll start to relate in such a way to your family members, you'll start to feel with everyone together how much it actually brings a lot of freedom, not pressure. A lot of freedom. Because I'm limiting myself in somewhat? No. It's actually a certain tuning up of certain relations and attitudes between people that you come to a situation where it is interrelationally comfortable, and like in an instrument where you will learn how to play it, but it's well tuned to play already. It's ready. Do you play? Yes. You seem like it suits you. So what does it mean that an instrument is ready to be played? No string is bothering the other string in order to be played with, right? Everything will be in harmony. And this is what needs to be first of all. And therefore, I said we need to start with that. Later, what do you want to hear from me? Now, there's a certain state that is this concept of making an impression. Well, the same thing. We learned this in the family. I would also put it the same thing through to the workplace. If it's a big office, usually we're talking about clerks and the office workers, not necessarily places where there are laborers, where they're relating more to the matter and less with the interrelationship between people. So it's a little bit different and less. But first of all, let's come to that. So it's still not so clear to me how to come to that. I know that on my daily basis, as I try to come to such a state of balance, and for me it's really so that everyone will accept me, will love me, so it'll be pleasant. So I'm really trying to be sensitive to the environment, to know what they're feeling, what they want from me now, to maintain tact, to be politically correct, so everything will be good. It will never work out good. So you're entering the surroundings and you're already pressured about how to be like that, and the pressures and the society around you is pressing upon you, and this is the relationships from within. This is already flawed. Why? Well, it's like that. You don't see that it's like that. Yes, I see, but why? I also don't see how you can do it otherwise. How can I come to a state? Well, we learned just now the first action, what the society needs to do. I didn't understand how that's different from what I'm doing right now. Also now I'm trying to really be very well to everyone and pleasant to everyone and not to bother anyone, meaning it sounds almost the same thing. Are you comfortable? No, as I'm saying, it's not comfortable for me. So why don't you understand what I'm recommending? Because supposedly I'm doing something very similar to what you're recommending, but it's not working out for me. What are you not doing that I'm saying like that? The point that differentiates, is it something in my attitude towards others, in my, the way something that I'm doing different than what I'm doing with others? No. How is it different? What did I say different in what I'm recommending towards the family? From what I understood, what's different is that I'm restricting myself, meaning that I don't want for anyone to experience me. And today, I do want to have a place. No? We're talking about a social agreement that everyone in the family or the society agree that we're going to do so. And we try to do it as such, and by doing so, we give an example to everyone, each to everyone. And then we get a pleasure from behaving that way. We are supported by each other, and each by all of the family, or by our whole society, or there at work, or where we are. We enjoy this achievement that we feel, which happens between us. We all engage in that same image. What image? Not the same identity or image, but the image that wants to be felt as pleasant by them, meaning we're similar to each other. We all appreciate this common situation, this common state. We all of a sudden feel like there's a lot of air for everyone. We restrict all the nonsense, all the foreign thoughts about each other, all the blah blah and gossip, all those things. What do you mean we're restricting? We're sticking with it means we simply clean them. How? We disperse them from us. How? Because if I want everyone to feel comfortable next to me, then what do? Do I continue with the gossip and this pressure and what politics for this or that? What do I do? That's not everything. There are many phenomena, but what's special? Everyone is doing it together. Everyone together. And then that they're doing it together, it influences everyone, and it gives everyone the strength, and it holds everyone. And then each starts to feel proud of what he's succeeding in. What is it succeeding in? By how much he is becoming pleasant for others. These are the exercises that we need to go through a few workshops. It's not simple, but actually it's a clear thing. First you said, let's also try to, let's say, measure the stress in a workplace and see how much ailments there are, and clashes, and the pressure from no one wanting to talk to each other, and we need more and more people. You know, in most workplaces, you have half of the people which are redundant. Do you know why? Because the other half is the matchmakers between the moderators between the other half, just so that they can, because otherwise they're going to. And I know, and also most people waste most of their time. Yes, only because they don't want to interact with each other. And this is nature, and there's nothing we can do other than what I'm saying here. Julie, I want to talk about this image, this pleasant image I'm calling her. We'll call it Noach, which is pleasant in Hebrew. It wants to be pleasant in this society. So if we do a summary of what you said so far, you said that each of us, in an aware way or subconscious way, is constantly acting images, whether it's with people or we're constantly acting images. We're acquiring different images, and then the image that is comfortable for me and comfortable for others, this is the image that I've got, and I basically act it. So I actually suit myself to this image that will benefit me to be that way. That's our nature, this is a normal way, and this is how everyone operates. Now, you said, if we want to bring ourselves to feel comfortable in this society, which is what we wanted to scrutinize in this discussion, we need to all enter into a certain image, which I'm calling it Noach, pleasant, and it's basically a way that no one bothers anyone else. No one takes up place. I want to feel this image a little bit more. It's very simple. Are we all in the ark? In Noah's ark? Noah's ark from the flood? Not here, in your workplace. Somehow, are we all together in some way inside the in the ark with the chickens and the snakes? Oh, there's many snakes, yes, and all those different things. How by Noah does everyone come to the ark and everyone enters and everyone goes silently through the flood? How? By being comfortable to each other. For before that, each of them was really bad to each other. Okay, because after the sin of man, Noah, you're talking about the story. Yes, the story is the story. It's our story. Which is what? What is it telling us? That after the bad, the evil inclination is revealed in man, the badness in his heart, what's his correction? How to save himself from the bad? To be in Noah's Ark. Okay, where everyone lives together in the same place and no one eats the other. Therefore, we go through the flood and we come to a new place, the good place. I wanted to ask really about this image. Do a discussion about this, a workshop. It's actually interesting. It's a story that everyone knows. Let each of them clothe themselves in a certain animal. Earlier said that we're all acting different images, and I know that many times a person wants to go to travel overseas and to free himself from the image that he played in his work and his family to a place where no one knows him, because then he will supposedly be free. Yeah, we usually go some faraway place, to some island or beach. Some people go to South America or India, and they go there and they kind of find themselves anew, and they kind of choose. You can do the same thing as just going out in the city. I like the nature, yes. And then he's kind of free of what the society kind of obligates him or compels him to, or what he acts in society. I think that each of us searches for this to come out of the social pressure. So first of all, I want to check, what image am I playing and what am I doing exactly that is not really authentic? Why is it important to you? Because it presses me. No, don't go into the bad, into what images I'm acting in life. Rather, always go towards the good. It's not a good way. Maybe in psychology that's how it's done. Yes, first to understand, and then... No. If I chew constantly the bad image, then I get connected to it more. And then I'm more attached to it, and then I'm truly buried in it, and I'm in it. So how will I come to a state that I will be able to already be really what's good and comfortable for myself, so that I know? Act animals. Animals. What animal? What's suitable for you? What, to choose an animal and identify with it? Oh, yes. I don't even know where to start. Doesn't matter where you're going to start. No, where I should start thinking. What is it to choose an animal? Let's say a lion. I don't know. It's not important. No. Some animal that doesn't truly kill, or because it's hard for you to act that image. Yes. Why am I saying it's not important? Because the main thing is to try to now clothe yourself in something that is very extreme, very different. It will help you to shake yourself up from all this image that was there, yes, and to remain maybe somewhat empty from those external images of human beings. And that's it. But not every person is capable to... I think Oren... You know what I chose? Can I tell you what I chose? I'll recommend to you. You know what you'll clothe in? In a whale. A whale? A small one, a dolphin. Like that, it's a pleasant, nice, quiet animal. It's kind of sweet. Everyone loves it. Like that, in the water. You're swimming. Okay. Okay, very well. Okay, so now what am I thinking about that? What am I doing? You gave me an animal. Now clothe yourself in it. Feel that you're that. Not just for now, but throughout time. For how much time, let's say? How much? Until you throw all your previous images away. Let's see you. We won't know you after a few days. We won't know you. You'll start to behave completely differently. Also yourself you won't know. Wait, give me some kind of beginnings here. I have a beginning point. I'm a dolphin. Next what? Now what? What do I do with this? I just got a piece of paper that says you're a dolphin. No, don't give me other animal. Now, don't change me like this. You're a giraffe. Let me understand. No, that's how you're living. That's it. Very simply. You're living in the water. You're swimming like that, back and forth. You're jumping above the waves, the sun. Just like that. You talk with your friends, how they kind of make their little peeping sounds, and kind of like there, you maybe go catch some fish. You need to clean yourself from all your images because they're all negative. It doesn't matter that you're even acting a good and nice person. It's not you. But it would really scare me, I think, to do something else if the image that I'm playing gives me confidence, it doesn't give you anything other than pressure, despair, craziness, terrible pressure and stress. It doesn't give you anything. Nothing. And if I'll act now something else, I don't know it, and it's kind of scary, maybe they'll respond differently, I don't know what to expect. There's something that's known to me. Enter into this. It's too bad that we don't have, do we have such images maybe in the movie and acting and theater? There's a whole approach that says that there are many images inside of us. Well, that's clear, that's for sure. There's an inner critic, there's a parent, there's a child, there's a perfectionist, and that each time we kind of have all these different images, and each time someone else is more dominant in there. But these images come from where? They're internal images. Yes. That we've absorbed from the outside, right? So I don't want to grab them from the outside. That's the whole matter. I want to feel myself free. If in such a way, if we advance in such a way, this is in short what I'm trying to recommend here, we will come to a state in which we all start to feel ourselves that only by doing this reciprocal acting, where each will act pleasant towards others, we will connect to the puzzle. And each will take up his place, the right and pleasant, comfortable place, and will understand what he needs to be. And in this puzzle, where we're already connected in that different level, and don't do to your friends what is hated upon you, we start to feel ourselves as existing in a different society, in a different world, a different attitude between us, a different relation to life, to everything. So after I acted, let's say, a dolphin, and I tried something else, a dolphin is just a means in order to disconnect from meaning I could be all kinds of things, and it doesn't matter who I am, but then I can kind of choose something else. Not choose. We don't choose. We, by the society, perceive that comfortable image which is suitable to others. I don't know exactly in that interconfiguration what form is the right for me, but as I connect with others, it'll be comfortable for them, for me, and they're also doing such efforts, how it's comfortable for them with me, how it's pleasant for me to be with them. Through this reciprocal work, we find each his true shape, his true form in human society, and that is my true and right form that I found, and that form is called the soul. I'm really trying to understand how it's different than what we're doing today, that we want to be accepted, and therefore we behave according to what is expected and what the society wants. And today I'm not acting anything right and good, also towards the society. Also, the society expects of me all kinds of things that are not natural. The problem is that what the society expects of me and what I expect from the society too. Today we're playing some sold game that's not us, it's both for our ego and for the society. And now we can overcome or rise above our ego and find a place that's pleasant for us and for others. It's already the first degree above the ego. I didn't understand the definition. What does it mean that they're playing a game of our ego? Before that? No. Today you said that. I mean today, the society today. Yes, today we're playing a sold game, a game that's not ours. Meaning that it's not ours. It's not what I want, but rather what the society, what Hollywood, all kinds of those images, yeah, macho things, from the miniseries on TVs, and so people are living in that, and when they're living, that's what they're acting. Meaning I'm playing images that are pushed on me. That is not me. Yes, I am seeing myself. I saw so many movies about scientists and musicians during my childhood, because my parents wanted to film me with that. That my room I built in such a way, and I behaved in such a way, I spoke in such a way, like I saw in the movies. I remember when I was 10, 12, 13. And then later on, slowly, as I already entered truly into the university, it kind of passed. But truly, that behavior was like that.
Okay.
It's what you're educated by. Okay, and now you're saying that in this new game that you're recommending, we also act an image, but now this time it'll be the true me, it'll be my image that you will find. It'll find my true image, yes, because the whole environment also will find the right images for themselves too, and everyone together. So this mosaic, this Lego, this puzzle, exactly will work out correctly, and each will receive his shape, his external shape. How do you know that you got your image now that it's not acting now? If those who surround me feel myself as not pressing upon them, but rather as completing them. Like in a puzzle. What is completing? Completing to a whole form. Okay, let me ask differently. What does it mean that they're feeling that I'm not pressing them? Did you see how children sometimes want to close the puzzle? With a hammer almost, right? Yes. So if it's comfortable and good, it's a sign that I'm in the right place. And you and her and him, if it's good for everyone. For who? For everyone. How will I feel? Is it going to be pleasant for them? Tell them, ma'am. How will I know that everyone's happy around me or they're accepting me? Of course. Of course. And they will also feel this. Hey, you're doing workshops, you're doing discussions about this. It's the building of the environment, building the society. It's the building of the soul of man, the building of the internality of each and every one. By doing so, we start to see life in a different way. Today in our society, it's like we're moving from the shattered world through Noah's Ark to the new world. Yes? So we're trying to see how we really make this move. So I know that in our society today there's something that's called pleasantries, there's manners, we smile, no, you're not real, you're liars, you're all false. It's really a big lie and wicked, and I don't know how to say it. What place is there for such things in this experience to nothing? It flies from us. We rid ourselves from that. We don't want to use that. For me, it's disgusting. I don't want that. I want to relate to others, to everyone, like a mother to a baby or a baby to a mother. Okay, because When I kind of researched this topic, what we understand today is that we are all in efforts to control ourselves so that outside no impulses will come out. Or you're going to go through a very powerful crisis now, and its purpose is to clean yourself from this whole filth. And really, I wanted to understand the differences so we'll know what is desirable. So this self-control in the eyes of others is what differentiates man from an animal, because the person doesn't let all his impulses go out. He controls himself in order to be pleasant to his environment. So first of all, is it right? Is the person in me, the one that can control himself? And also, how do we come to a state that it doesn't go outwards what's inside of me? Because we're saying that I need to be pleasant for the society. What do you have to have from the surrounding? If everyone's going now to a game where it'll be pleasant for everyone, where all my relations to others are in order to be pleasant. I'm not going to lick someone up or something like that. It's not like before. It's not that I'm also nice before everyone and to say, yes, what do you want? Maybe I'll do for you this or that. No. Rather from within, first of all, the inner effort. How do I make it so that it'll be pleasant for everyone? What is it from inside? I, first of all, direct myself towards this from inwards. To what exactly? What is comfortable for the world for me to behave? I'm asking myself that. Where? When I'm with myself, when I'm with them, when you're with them. Yes, when I'm with them. Okay, so I'm asking what's comfortable for everyone for me to behave that way. And you don't need to have self-control in this situation. If it's a general decision, on the contrary, you have much more force and public support to hold it, maintain it in such a way. And what if I get mad or I have a bad mood? No, you can't get mad. And you also can't have a bad mood. Other than it's still inner pressure and you haven't reached what I mean yet. So it sounds like a really ideal state. Well, that's it. But there's instruction, gradual, slow, after so many actions, and we start to understand what we're in. This instruction is actually more of an emotional, internal instruction. We have to go through certain states, through stages. We have to go through some inner scrutiny, inner cleaning in the mind and in the emotions through scrutinies, and then we come to it slowly. And all kinds of things happen, all in all, in this society, in this collective that we're working. Then we overcome it, we start to scrutinize it, and it's actually good that we start to come out of it. There will be other problems. All of a sudden people will start to break out and will try to do things that they had maybe on each other for many, many years and they held back. And there'll be screaming and laughter and all kinds of breakouts, all kinds of things that are pleasant and unpleasant. Even as they talk about themselves and what there was and what happened and so on and so forth. But this, slowly, we need to accompany them and to come to it. And everything by the workshops. Open talking in which each talks not from himself, but as him seeing himself from the side. Because we have now two images. The previous image that I was acting, which included all sorts of images, and the current image that I'm searching for, that I don't know what it is, which is the pleasant one, the noach in me, the pleasant in me, compared to all the rest of the images. And they need to disappear in this flood, and only pleasant noach will remain. A situation has been created here that really, if I come to a workshop and I'm going through a certain process, most of us are not in that process. We're at work, we're at the family, all kinds of other environments, and we experience there all kinds of anxieties and fears and things. And the question is, until we get to that, so you need to take the TV, that channel 66, and to try through the channel to give people an example how to come to a form in which they are comfortable for us and for others. Let's try it. We're the landlords of it. Okay, so let's say I'm here in a program. We'll give them an example. Take a few friends, a few guys and ladies, and do a true example of it. What should we sample here? A society that decides that it's enough for them to be hypocritical and angry, but they rather want to define a comfortable society, both from within and on the outside, and not hypocritical, but rather as natural as possible. What does it mean, not hypocritical? Meaning that I don't need to act not towards myself and not towards each and every one. We don't even understand what that is, to be without the pressures, without these different scenes that we're going through, scenarios. We talk in unnatural ways. We're not us. Here we will be like, we're going to dig like those archaeologists, who we are. We're going to study who we are into the earth. Let's find ourselves from all this garbage. But you said that we don't have anything that we didn't receive from the environment, meaning inside himself, each of us, no one has what is. We're just images that we clothe ourselves from the outside. So what will we study? Where will we come to if we will study? If I want to come to some place 1,000 years ago, I need to get rid of many layers, let's say 10 feet. This is our culture, yes, that we're covering with garbage earth. So I clean and then I come to it. The same way, if I want to come to the true self, who I am, I need to clean and clean and clean those layers until I get to it. This cleaning I can't do by myself. I can't. I can only do it by the environment. How does that happen? Through these workshops, through these discussions, of course, there is beside us an instructor. But in the end, that's how it is. And people in these workshops, they're not afraid to express themselves. They don't have something that people think about them. Well, slowly, you're a psychologist, not me. I want to learn from you. But all in all, this is what we do. But is this a gradual process, or it's a very gradual process? And the main thing is, it's not that like a work with a psychologist with them, but it's as much as they discuss themselves in the circles. Yes? And we see how much people that start to get a little bit of encouragement from each other, they start all of a sudden to open up a little bit. All of a sudden it's crying, all of a sudden it's breaking out and something, and then all in all, they're basically cleaning themselves. This is this flood that we're trying to feel, really like a tornado inside the workshop, and we go through this cleaning. Okay, and now let's say I saw this program and I understood that I need to be comfortable to those who are around me, to find my place, and they too have to do the same thing. Meaning to give them a place beside me so that they won't feel that I'm pressing. And then the question, so how do we find each his form, his shape, like in a puzzle, if no one wants to bother the others? Specifically in the opposite of the ego, in such a way, we find between us this new interconnection. It's not that you're going to move for me a little bit and I'm going to move here and you there and you there and we find place. That's what was before in the egotistical society. Yes? No. This is why it's called that we're going through the flood. I didn't understand this discernment between the old model and the new model. Again, start with the old one, and in the old model, you were in the big society. You took your place like this. You said, this is my corner, this is my room, this is me, and this is how I am, and this and this and this. And also to come to me only from 10 to 2, and more, this and that, and thank you. Thank you and goodbye. Yes. And also, she was like that, and everyone else is like that. Everyone. in the new situation. What are we doing actually? Each grabbed onto a certain form and protected itself so that the other won't enter into his boundaries, right? Yes. Now you're doing it differently. Now it's different. You do not define for anyone anything. I am open to everyone. This is called that I'm not taking up space. I'm open to everyone all the time for anything. I am willing to be the comfortable, to be the noach for everyone, meaning that everyone can use me. This only needs to be in graduality. From the place I am as a manager to the place that I am as a rag. Truly. It's not, maybe it's much, as I'm talking maybe already to the end of development. So let's return to the beginning. The old model I understood, I didn't understand the new model. The new model is that we're not dictating to each other any boundaries. Only one condition. Each tries to be maximally pleasant to others, comfortable for others. So I don't care if I'm sitting in the corner with others, and though I define my hours like this or like that, and all the problems that are at work that brought me like this or like that, the paper, and well, 1,001 different things. I don't know if you're in the office doing something, meaning I do not dictate anything to others, only for it to be comfortable for them. I'm willing to work and to concede for them, towards them, so it'll be comfortable for them. But under the condition that everyone does that, everyone tries in such a way, maximally, and we are concerned. We're already in mutual guarantee that we're all concerned that everyone, about the mood of everyone, that this approach, this attitude will be general. I wish it would be like that. Wait. Do you understand? I just opened with a few words here. But we already see after that what's happening after this. It's not just to arrange the normal relations that we looked for here. And I'm not some expert in coaching that I just wanted to arrange a little here and to maybe kind of quiet things down. Rather, here we're talking about a true revolutionary internal change of each and every one. So we didn't talk about that initially, but we're going towards this. It's just that it depends on the cooperation of everyone. So we want there to be a comfortable atmosphere. Don't tell them about the Noah's Ark and about the flood and about such nullification between one and the other, and that one wants to reach a state that he's like a rag towards everyone. No, just comfortable. Our program is going to be ending soon. Give me one thing to put in my mind. If I want to feel comfortable in the society more than I feel now, what do I need to do? Think that you are between them so that they won't feel like you're taking up space. You understand? Kind of, so that they won't feel that you're bothering in such a way. Okay, I wrote down, we'll try to do. And I also have to be a dolphin today, so it's going to be a very busy day. Thank you very much, Rav Laitman. Yeah, you're going to be like that with the children. How am I going to come home? There are many things. I'm going to be confused. But the main thing is that we're doing it together, so help me. Until next time, all the best, a new life.